Good evening, everyone. This is Maurice from the Triple M Model Railroad. And as you can see here, I actually received the last two of the SD40T-2, the tunnel motors from ScaleTrains. And I got road numbers 8320 and no road number, as you can see here. Now, there's a little story behind this. Originally, I ordered 8307, and for some reason, the order got snafu'd from what Mike was saying. When I put in my order, for some reason, it was under pre-order, and their ordering system kind of got screwed up. So actually, someone managed to get 8307 before they actually caught it. So they didn't have any more left. And this one is a non-decoder, if I'm not mistaken. A non-decoder version. It doesn't have no decoder, so I have to buy a decoder for it and set that up. So, but I mean, that's not a big deal. I really don't want to do that, but I'm left with little choice. And what is going to make this difficult is actually putting those decals on, the numbering decals. And trying to find the numbering decals online, the right ones, was a bit of a challenge, but I managed to find it. On what's the Microscale's website. I have to admit, they really have to update their website. It's pretty antiquated. Um, um, Compared to these new websites they have today. So they need, what they should do is get on the ball and actually update the website. uh, but yeah, so I got to put the decal number and decals on it. What number I'm going to number this one? I'm going to number this one 8321. And the reason why I want to name it that, give it that number, is because I've seen it on one of those old SP Southern Pacific's videos I was watching the other day, and I actually seen a long nose tunnel motor um, in the Tapapiqua, if I pronounced that correctly, area of California, and it was actually a power move. I think it was 6 locomotives, and this one was the second one um, from the lead. So I think I'm going to actually model that number. And it's actually the number, another number just up from this one, 8320. So 8321 will be kind of appropriate. Now, hopefully the stickers, or the decals more or less, I get for it is going to match perfectly. And I'm a perfectionist when it comes to these things, so I'm a little nervous about it. Um, will it be properly scaled, um, and to apply them is like, that's a whole nother thing. Applying them is going to be a pain in the butt, So I mean, I was left with little choice. Well, I do have choices. I just decided, I said, oh, well, let me just get this one. I'll have to. Now, the funny thing is, I still can get 8307 from another website. Um, yeah, I won't mention the website because I may just want to purchase it. I don't know what, no one else buying it. Um, it's the non-Dakota one as well. And at least I'll have the road number. Uh, I'm still debating should I buy it. We'll see. We'll see how they got a couple of them left. I'll mention the website after I buy it. I know I'm evil. I'm bad. I'm a bad guy. Sometimes I'm just bad. Um, but yeah, so far these models are near flawless. And I say near flawless is because this one here, 30, I was about to say 38, 8320 actually has an issue with the horn. The horn is concocted, as you can see. And I got to straighten that one out. When they glued it on, I guess they were rushing or whatever. But everything else is perfect. Even the handrails are very well done. Handrails on this particular model is very well done. Yeah, no real complaints. Just that one little thing about the horn. See, here's the horn mounted correctly here. So I gotta try to finagle it. You can actually see the difference between it if you look towards your upper right and your lower left. You see the difference, the disparage. You know, they look really concocted, but that's the only thing that's really wrong with it. That's really wrong with it. So, you know, everything, all the hoses and the MU hoses and, you know, brake lines, whatever, air lines, whatever. You know, I don't get into like the actual details of these models like some people do. Cut levers, cut levers, excuse me, or cut bars, whatever you can call them. I really like the shovels in the rear, the front. I like the big shovels. Um, you know, front and rear, they're both the same, so I like that. And of course, all the lights. Um, I'm gonna have a video testing this as well, so I'm not gonna test it tonight. I just want to break them out and just stare at them. Just look at them; they look really good. I mean, these engines are so ugly; they look good. You know, these tunnel motors. You know, and it must have been awesome to see in real life. I mean, I have some people hit me up, and they have seen these engines when they were back in the day, and they said it were awesome sights to see, especially when they were running. And I mean, looking at the videos, I actually turned out the videos, the sound of the videos, just to hear these things roar right by. Um, you know, especially going up these steep grades. These were really workhorses. And I wish I could actually replicate the sounds um, on these models to the exact. It's actually the sound files are pretty spot on, to be honest with you. But the problem is just the processing. Not the processing so much. It's the speakers are the problem. That's the Achilles when it comes to these things with the speakers. It's the sound is just, it has no bass. That's the only problem with them. They have no bass whatsoever. Um, I mean, if somebody can actually develop speakers that would have bass like that, very close to the real thing, that would be great. You know, always got to try to push technology. Try to push it as much as you can. One thing I noticed, and I failed to mention it in the other video, is that the fuel tank, for some reason on 8369, if I remember correctly. I don't know, it just didn't look right to me for some reason. I don't know. Well, this one kind of looks like it, but I don't know. I'm being a nitpick. I'm a nitpick with these models. My eyes just zoom into like little imperfections, You know, I expect a lot from these plastic models, really. I mean, I got to remember these are not brass models. So, you know, sometimes the molds are not super perfect. And I think on the first engine that I showed, it looked kind of off to me. I don't know. I have to look at it again. It's currently at my uncle's layout right now. So I can't show it right now. But I mean, if you really look carefully, if you compare the two or the three, you can actually see there's a slight variation in the molding of the fuel tank. You know, like this portion here looks a little, for some reason, this looks a little thinner. I don't know. You know, so I'm being a nitpicker. I know, but you know, but I see these things, so I have to mention it. I have to mention it. But I mean, this is all right. The other one is all right too. Was, you know, I'm just being a bitch. I just, I just can't help it. Um, so I'm gonna run 8320. I'm gonna run this one. Can't run the other one because there's no decoder. I have to buy a decoder for it. Maybe I should just buy a decoder as opposed to buying um, 8307. That would actually make a lot of sense. You know, buy a version 5 decoder, slap it in there. It'd be interesting to see. I gotta get speakers too. That's another thing. Oh, 'cause I don't think this comes with speakers. Actually, I have to ask the question to ScaleTrains. Does it come with speakers? So I don't have to add speakers. I doubt it very much. That would be nice. I mean, I probably could tell once I take this model apart and take a good look at it to see if it does have speakers or doesn't, and see what speakers are that belong into it. You know, so yeah. So once and also I'll probably do a video on this installation. It should be quite easy. I mean, just plug and play, supposedly. Hopefully, it's not like Athern's. Well, they older Genesis models. I don't know about the new ones, where the wiring, the way they got the wiring, it's like you have to rewire the motherboard. You know, I kind of find it's like punishment for not buying with the decoder. So even if you got the right decoder, you have to rewire everything. You know, and all the wires are the same colors, which even makes it even more a pain in the ass. So you have to sift through the wiring and wire it up correctly. You know, so let's hope ScaleTrains is different. When I take this apart, I can tell immediately if, you know, if the wiring is different or not, or if it's the same or what have you. If it's going to be easy to work on. You know, so, but again, I really like these models. These engines are, they are ugly, but they're beautiful at the same time. You know, ugly and beautiful. I don't know if that's possible, but yeah. All right, enough of me, Dre. I'm rambling for 14 minutes, just long enough. I know y'all people tired of me talking. So I'm going to end this video and, well, not really end it. I'm just going to, well, end it for now, and I'll be back with this on the track. Maybe I'll have it on the layout. Who knows? You know, because I'm not doing it tonight. It's time to go to bed. So stay tuned for the next. All right, people. It's the following evening, and I got this on the track, and we're actually going to test this out and see how everything works. As I said again, the model looks really good. for the exception the horn is a little concocted, but that's not a big deal. That can be easily fixed. Other than that, the model is basically in perfect condition and has been well constructed. All right, so let's get her started. All right, so far so good. All right, so let's get the lights started. All right, so far the number boards are lit. Headlights. All right, Mars light or gyro light. And the classification lights. They all work fine. And the rears should work as well. And we're going to test the emergency light. All right, when the emergency light comes on, all the rest of the lights go out. So far, so good. All right, turn off emergency lights. Let's go in reverse. I really like the horn on this thing. Like I said in my first video of this model, not this particular one, but I believe this 8369, I find that the horn is slightly on the low side. The engine volume, when it's throttling up, I find kind of on the low side as well. I mean, it all can't be perfect, but but it still sounds good, nonetheless. It still sounds good. Got the momentum set quite high. I got it set to 125. All right. All right. I'm going to simulate a load onto the engine. Right now I got it on F9. that is a feature that basically holds the throttle, or actually it holds the speeds in place while you manipulate the throttle. Now the camera phone may make it sound louder than what it really is, but it seems like when the engine starts idling up, it kind of loses something. I don't know. It's not as loud as I would expect it. Yeah, when it goes to full run 8, it does get a bit louder. I really like this model. I really do. This is a very nice model. ScaleTrains basically knocked it out of the park. Right now it's on the full throttle feature. F9 is selected, and as you can hear, it's full throttle, simulating that the engine has a very heavy load. Now watch, when I put this on idle, to simulate it coasting. Alright, now it's coasting. I hit F9 and the engine will stop. I am really, really impressed with this model. They have done an excellent job with this. I must have said like a few times. But yes. I would like to see these run together. I have 3 of them. I just have to put decals and a decoder and speaker in the model it's in the box right now. I featured that in the video before, and that one's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to try to apply these decals as perfect as possible. That's going to be quite a challenge. And I'm going to number that one 8321. So, yeah, so far, so good. And all the lights work. Alright. And that's it, people. And this is ScaleTrains, SD40T-2, tunnel motor, Southern Pacific, road number 8320. And I'm going to have more videos to come. Hopefully on my uncle's layout. And you can see these run under his layout. It's long overdue. He did a lot of work, and he done a pretty damn good job, I have to admit. A very good job. You will see it soon. I know so many people have been waiting for that. You know, seeing the layout and seeing the trains run on the layout. So that is coming, I promise. So everyone, thank you for watching, and have a good evening.